From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA for Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And I hope you're getting ready with that Mitch-a-tini, or Michelada. In today's recording, we'll go over the incredible great news about your Fourth Stimulus Check update of 2022. As Americans and viewers of this channel, millions have now understood that a Fourth Stimulus Check has landed in every U.S. state. We'll go over the latest details of LALATE 101 taught on this channel earlier this week, as a Fourth Stimulus Check has now landed in every U.S. state. And then we have learned as well what those checks are. That was LALATE 202. Today we checked back with the viewers of this channel to see which of the viewers got that incredible Fourth Stimulus Check application on file. A Fourth Stimulus Check now in every U.S. state. And I told viewers yesterday in the third version, LALATE 303, to get ready to apply overnight. And I was going to check back with you today on Cinco de Mayo. We'll see who got applications on file for those Fourth Stimulus Checks. I'm so excited to see your results, and I'll feature them tonight on Evenings LA. Get ready to jump into the live chat and post what you did to get that Fourth Stimulus Check in your state overnight, and I'm going to go over your success stories on Evenings tonight. But we turn back to the latest developing details about what else is going on today. And folks, it is very dramatic. Yesterday, of course, the Federal Reserve announced what it said it was going to do, a 50 basis point increase for your interest rates. Told to us they were going to do this back in May. It should be back in April, and they did it in May, this week's meeting of the FOMC meeting. But what happened thereafter? Wall Street surged. Then today, Wall Street crashed, drowned dramatically once again. Moreover, what's going on overseas is the Bank of England now says its economy is going into recession. Oh boy, here we go. All the latest details on your SS 300, all the latest details on the Build Back Better Act, as Joe Manchin, who is a pro-life Democrat, according to him, says that inflation's more important in the midterm elections than abortion rights. Ooh, yeah. Then we'll be turning to the latest details about your sixth stimulus and view of those developing details out of Europe, and then back to student loan debt forgiveness. Do you forgive debt if you're in an inflationary environment? And then finally, stagflation. Is the U.S. economy already in stagflation, and what does that mean? And what's next on that horizon of recession? We'll have the latest details on that. But first, become a member, because over this 1 hour broadcast, we're going to go over the Fourth Stimulus Checks that are in every U.S. state. Every U.S. state has a Fourth Stimulus Check, and viewers have gotten it. And tonight, I want to see your success stories. Actually, in this live chat right now, I want to see your success stories, and I'm going to feature them tonight on Evenings LA. Let's get to it. Let's get our Michelada in hand with our student loan debt forgiveness teed up, our sixth stimulus teed up, our concerns about inflationary rates going to be covered in this recording as well. And then our concerns about Build Back Better Act. We're going to go over all those incredible details from the United States to overseas, all that money that impacts your wallet. The incredible great news from Afternoons LA just starts in 1 second, but first become a member, and let's get to it, starting right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you have a day for Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2022. In this recording, we're going to go over the incredible great news of a Fourth Stimulus Check that is now in every U.S. state. Not available in every U.S. state is the Michelada. But the Fourth Stimulus Check is now available in every U.S. state, and we're going to go over how to get that incredible check. Go to the top of the chat, go under the description, and become a member right today. You want to get that check. It is featured in the newsletter. In that newsletter for members, I show you how to get that incredible check. The newsletter comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Welcome to all the hundreds of new members joining hourly on this channel. I want you to be part of that incredible details over this raw recording, 1 hour. We're going to go over all those incredible details at issue. Then we're going to turn to Build Back Better Act. Next, over to sixth stimulus. And the questions as the warnings out of Bank of England today of recessionary concerns. Does that tee up sixth stimulus quicker than we thought? SS300, major developing details on that front, of course, as Jay Powell made that announcement yesterday about your inflationary rates. And then we turn over to the latest concerns about recession, stagflation, and stay to the very end of this video. Stay to the very end, because I got more money for you at the very end, and I give you my insight about Build Back Better Act in the final minutes of this video. Let's start first today with Build Back Better Act. There is $15,000 to $80,000 of checks in that Build Back Better Act, but I don't want you to get confused. So before I go into Build Back Better Act, let me tell you where we are today for Cinco de Mayo. A fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check has now landed in every U.S. state. That was LA 101, taught on this channel on Monday this week. On Tuesday, I taught viewers what the checks are. A fourth stimulus check of many different types has landed in every U.S. state. Then yesterday, I showed viewers how to get the check, where to get it, how to bounce. Today, if you're on the live chat, I want you to post right now what you did in your homework assignment. Last night, I gave viewers a homework assignment. I said I want you to go out and apply to get one of these four stimulus checks and report back to me to see if you're passing LA 303. Today, we're going over to LA 404, the next and hardest and most advanced class. I want you to get ready to get your second check applied for. We're going to go over more about that in just a second, but first let's take it back to Build Back Better Act. Build Back Better Act would potentially give you other additional checks on top of these four stimulus checks that are already law, direct deposit, and landed in your states. Build Back Better Act is a bill. It's in the Congress. It's not passed yet. And it would be additional, repeat that again, additional four stimulus checks that would be coming across the board. There's a lot of checks in there. 3 clusters, 3 add-ons we've gone over the last few months. But let me go over the breaking news on Build Back Better Act right today. First, a White House insider says that Joe Biden wants to get this done for the midterm elections. Good. If he wants to do that, then he has to get the negotiations wrapped by May. Because to get a check out to you before you vote, and you vote about 3 months ahead of time because you vote by mail, then they got to finish the negotiations in May. White House insider says that Joe Biden has been negotiating with Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin in recent days. Good. That is really, really good. Now, Build Back Better Act has the push of economic data, and the economic data is faltering. The U.S. economy is shrinking. Corporate earnings is coming in weak, and data after data, bad. I'm going to give you a new twist to the equation in just a second. But first, let me tell you what's going on. People want to give you stimulus when the economy is not doing well. Well, we have less jobs being created. Non-farm payroll jobs just a few days ago missed by 60,000, number 2. Corporate earnings way down. Projections for earnings for the third quarter, we're currently in the second quarter, third quarter is later this year, very poor. Apple saying it will not have component parts for its iPhones out of China because China is on lockdown because of the subvariant of Omicron. Apple saying corporate earnings will be way down. So corporate America reporting major pullbacks for third quarter. They missed on first quarter earnings, which were just announced last week. Then let's go back to the rest of the economic data that impacts your wallet. The U.S. economy, how large it grows, is called the gross national product. We also use that terminology for other countries. And it was supposed to be 7.1% growth in the month of April. It came in at 6.9%, so it missed. It's now shrinking. And guess what happened? Jay Powell yesterday confirmed that GDP is shrinking. And later this recording, I'm going to tell you that the Bank of England warned today that England's economy is shrinking dramatically, very quickly. But here is where it gets really interesting, and this is brand new for May 5th, 2022. You're going to see in the negotiations of the Build Back Better Act, I'm telling you right now, the following tug and pull. And you're going to see some people saying, the economy is missing, the economy is shrinking, the economy is stalling up, which is all correct. I just told you. Corporate earnings down, corporate earnings projections down, then consumer spending down, and then job creations down, and the economy shrinking down. That's all bad. Then you have the reverse that other people will likely say. But we have inflation. And if you have inflation, then you don't want to spend money, because if you spend money as a government during inflationary times, then it makes more inflation. That is not a correct economic analysis. So let me just make this very clear to you. When a government spends more money, it doesn't create more inflation. Let me give you a new word which I've touched on now and then on the channel in recent months, but not so much until today. Stagflation. Stagflation is different than recession. Recession means that your economy at 6.9% growth shrinks to 4%, which it may be right now, then to 2%, maybe in the fall, and then to 0, and then into negative territory. I'm projecting that recessionary environments will kick in by the end of this year, and we'll be at negative GDP next year. That's recession. That's pretty simple. Growing, shrinking, then contracting dramatically. That's easy. What is stagflation? Stagflation is far more worse than recession in many regards. Stagflation means you have a shrinking economy, and you also have inflation still high. Ouch! You mean both of the things at the same time? Yeah, that's what the Bank of England, which I'm covering all in this video. So I want you to understand this for the purpose of Build Back Better Act. I do expect some people to say, why do Build Back Better Act if there's inflation? Well, you do it because the economy is contracting. And that spending the money by the federal government is not a bad thing. It certainly helps the economy from contracting. You do not want the economy to shrink. You do not want the economy to shrink. That's why Build Back Better Act is good. And passing Build Back Better Act does not inherently create inflation. Now, let's go to the details across the board. Jay Powell yesterday announced a half a basis point increase, 50 basis point increase at the FOMC meeting of May. We already knew it was going to do that. The way the Federal Reserve does these things is it tells you a month ahead of time what it's going to do. Now, going into that press conference by Jay Powell live in person was really sort of one of these strange, that's not what you said days. Not among him, it's among the analysts. The analysts in just a month's time have gone saying, I expect a quarter basis point increase. I expect a half basis point increase. I expect a 3/4 basis increase. I'm like, are you the same person I heard from 2 days ago? You've changed your position every 10 seconds. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday was Steve Leisman, a correspondent for CNBC, asked Jay Powell, do you expect that there will ever be a 3/4 basis point increase? Jay Powell said, absolutely not. We're not doing 3/4 basis point increase. Great question. Great answer. What happened? Wall Street later that day traded up. CNBC later that night ran a story in its Lightning News that said, this is what happened. We asked a question, and then Wall Street traded up. Do you think that people traded up because Steve asked a question? Come on already. That's a little pedantic, don't you think? Well, we know it's pedantic. Why? Because today Wall Street is trading down. Yeah, that may have been a question asked yesterday, but today the entire rally that seemed to be equated by CNBC to its correspondence question is gone, and Wall Street is down dramatically. Why? Let me go over the details across the board. It's back to reality, as one person said. The Federal Reserve's announcement of no to 3/4 was what you expected to say. And what we're wondering is how many half basis point increases. That's the question to wonder about. The latest details today from May 5th, 2022 is that large tech stocks like Amazon and Facebook down 7%. This is just another day of slaughtering of stocks, and it's not done yet. The Treasury yields continue, the 10-year Treasury yield, here we go, surged back above 3% to its highest levels in 2018. This is pre-pandemic numbers. These are horrible. These are 2018. 3% is horrible. Get ready for runaway credit card debt prices. Your car loans, things are getting very, very expensive very quickly. And Carlyle Group co-founder David Rubenstein said we're back to reality today for May 5th. We're looking at 50 basis point increases for the next 2 FOMC meetings. So there he says 2 more 50 basis point increases. So we're going to be tightening a bit. I don't think it's going to be tightening so much, but you got to recognize we have some real economic challenges in the United States. There you go. Now, many insiders say the Federal Reserve is really not going to get it right. I don't think they're going to get it right. And the comments just vary from too many 50 basis point increases to the Federal Reserve literally bringing you into recession. Many people think that Jay Powell will bring you into recession. And this is all important when we talk about your SS300. When we talk about your Build Back Better and your other forcible checks, let's go over the details right now. The way the Build Back Better Act works at SS300 is if data is bad, you get more money. It works first with Build Back Better Act. If the economy is doing weak, business, if the economy is stalling, if the economy is shrinking, if the economy is getting smaller, you're more likely to get Build Back Better Act passed. And I know some people are going to say, but it causes inflation. It does not cause inflation. And I think that people will understand that. And that's why Build Back Better Act will get passed. Economy is going to get very bad, folks. It's going to get very bad. And it's going to get bad every single week as it approaches a potential vote, they say now, by Memorial Day weekend. If you were with this channel in 2020, I always talked about the importance of what the economic data is right when Congress votes. Economic data is going to be really bad then, but it's going to be far worse by September. I don't want them to hold off on the vote, obviously, but I got to tell you, it's going to be very bad by September. It's going to look like it's getting bad by the time they vote. That's when they represent the vote will be. And then the money will go out is what they're representing. Now, let's go over to SS300. Joe Biden represented that is going to raise your benefits up raise your benefits up if he became a president, and then his presidential platform, he said he was going to do that. How? Swapping COLA for inflation. COLA is your current benchmark. It's assessed every December. And when it's assessed every December, they look at it, and it's a horrible number. It's like a michelada. What? Who orders a michelada? Oh, the people in the governor's, people in the senator's office in Kentucky on Cinco de Mayo. Everyone have a michelada. I made it up. It's wonderful. I I'd rather have a chocolate. I don't know. So there you go. So when you go to vote, you want the data to be bad. SS300 would lock in 8% today. Why? Because inflation ain't still down yet. Inflation still ain't down. I know what Jay Powell did yesterday, but it ain't going to bring down inflation just yet. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Is Jay Powell going to do anything to get down inflation? Well, yeah, he's going to have half basis point increases. How many? I project one this next month, the month after that, maybe. I think two more. And I think after that, I'm going to hold off on projecting because I can't. But what about your inflation? I don't think it's going to go down. I think he has it totally wrong. I think that the inflation currently is caused by supply chain disruption coming out of COVID, Russia invaded Ukraine, and Chinese lockdown in the major cities of China caused a supply chain disruption caused by the subvariant of Omicron. Jay Powell has no tools to fix those situations. Inflation staying high. If inflation stays high, and he is hitting hard on the economy by raising interest rates and stalling up the economy, welcome to stagflation. Say that again. If Jay Powell raises interest rates and you get higher interest rates, but it does not work and it shrinks the economy more and more and more and brings you into recession, then you will still have high interest rates and then you have recession. Together, it's stagflation. It's just a very bad situation. This is why it's good, ironically, for Build Back Better Act, because when that bad horizon comes, then Build Back Better Act comes. Next, SS300. It's good for that as well, because Joe needs to make that swap from COLA to inflation, because we're currently tracking at about 8% inflation. Now let's look at the data across the board. Is that one of the major financiers, or what you would call fund managers, hedge fund managers, who's actually a billionaire because of his successes. Paul Tudor Jones says, I can't think of a worse economic environment than this one right now for financial assets. He says this is uncharted territory. It is. It's really uncharted territory. It's going to go from bad to worse, and no one has ever seen anything like this. And that is the first situation. The second one is the reaction to the Federal Reserve today. The reaction to the Federal Reserve, I had told you last week, may be more important than what Jay Powell says, which we already knew he was going to say. The reaction today is a bloodbath. Facebook down 6% today, and Amazon down 7%. I mean, they were down enormous numbers last week. This is a bear market, folks, but it's becoming an aggressively bear market. And we have other companies like eBay down, 8% and Etsy down 15% today. Just astronomically bad data across the board. What's important to understand is that you got that and you got the bond yields going up. Now, amidst all of that, you know why it feels good to be here. You know why it feels good to be here. Um, because the local place charges too much for the Cinco de Mayo drinks. Supply chain disruption. Yeah, it just feels good to be watching me and being a community on Cinco de Mayo instead of out having tacos that are $7 a taco. Instead of going out and having enchiladas that are like $13. I looked at the menu at one of the places here in Southern California, in near Santa Monica. The menu that used to be, $8 for sit down, Mexican meal, it's like $18 for rice and beans. Excuse me, $18 for rice and beans. Yeah, that is supply chain disruption. It gives me more heartburn than too much hot sauce. Yeah, so let's go. The reason why it's good to be here as a family today is because there are four stimulus checks. There are four stimulus checks in every US state. And those four stimulus checks we're going over right now. Thank goodness for you. Thank goodness for me. And thank goodness for this community, because I'm going to show you right now. A four stimulus check is in every US state. This was LATE 101 just a few days ago. It was Monday. I said that a four stimulus check is in every U.S. state, and if you can learn that, repeat it back, memorize it, you have passed the first class of the week, LATE 101, the introductory class to four stimulus. Can you repeat back to me? A four stimulus check is in every U.S. state. A four stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Is it in my state? Yes. Future tense? No. Have anything to do with Build Back Better Act? No. We're talking about right now. A four stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Now. And so you've passed that. You did so well. You passed it in a blink of an eye. Then the next day we went to LATE 202, the next class. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state, and I can tell you as a viewer what the check is. Can you? I'm going to check back with you. We're going to have a pop quiz after the commercial break. I'm going to see if you remember which four stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. And if you're new to this channel, don't worry. I'm going to recap everything you may have missed earlier this week in this recording. Then we go to the exciting details of LA 303. Will you pass in our pop quiz today? I'm going to go over whether you applied for a four stimulus check overnight. That was your homework assignment. I said, go out and now apply for a four stimulus check and check back in with me on this show so I can feature your success stories tonight on Evenings LA in prime time. Get ready to go into the live chat and post your success stories. I'm probably in the live chat and I'm about to watch what you post. And then we go to the incredible details of LATE 404, getting ready to pounce for multiple checks. Boy, that is the start. Then in the second half of this video, we'll go over that student loan debt forgiveness, getting very interesting. Six stimulus, which I got to tell you, this is perhaps the most important part of today's recording. This six stimulus part of the recording is so important because guess what? Bank of England says it's basically preparing for recession in England. I had told you all the last 2 months, recession comes to different parts of the United States and different parts of the globe before other parts. I also told you if economies we do business with that we are coexistent and dependent upon go in recession before we do, they will drag us in. Here we go. It's coming up in the second half. Then I have my comments about something that Joe Manchin said and how it impacts or doesn't impact Build Back Better Act. Finally, more exciting details and more checks in the very end of this video. Stay to the very end. We got a lot coming up as I test you and I see whether you're ready to pass LA 303. I'm ready to see if you have graduated from class LA 303. It's coming up after the commercial break. But first, I want you to become a member. Go under this video and hit that link or to the top of the chat and become a member. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Get that membership newsletter in front of you if you are a member. And if you're not, then get ready to be in front of you for tonight's Evenings LA at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. In the second half of this video, we're going to go over the four stimulus check that's in every U.S. state, LA 101. We're going to go over what the checks are, LA 202. And then we're going to go over your assignment from last night to apply and get a check. We're just getting started. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you're doing well. I hope you are ready for fun and excitement. And I'm not referring to Mitch running around in a sombrero. We'll be back with you in 60 seconds as a big Cinco de Mayo version of Afternoons LA Heats Up. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on a big Afternoons LA from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm so excited you're here with me. In this big second half, we're going to go over those incredible four stimulus checks that have landed in every U.S. state. And we're going to go over your success stories on Just Applying. Just Applying is a success. If you haven't, become a member. The link is at the top of the chat, the pinned comment. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. Want to learn more about that newsletter? I posted a new video yesterday on the channel that features details about opening the newsletter and using it. Then we're going to get those checks. All right, let's start with the LATE 101 class from earlier this week. Let's recap. In LATE 101, the viewers of this channel passed and graduated from the first class, LATE 101. In that first class, they learned that a four stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Very good. Viewers graduated that introductory first class very easy. If you're new to this channel, do it right now with me so you can get caught up with the rest of viewers. Repeat back to me. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Memorize it, repeat it back, and say it out loud when you're watching this video. If you got that, you have passed. You have graduated from Class LATE 101. Let's go to Class LATE 202, which viewers graduated from yesterday. In that class, I had viewers remember, learn, and memorize which four stimulus checks are in their state and which are in every state. It's pretty easy. Let's see if you remember right now before I tell you. Go into the live chat right now and write what fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. I'll give you a help. There are 3 checks, and they have letters, and they are in every U.S. state. What are the 3 checks that are in every U.S. state? Write them down in the live chat. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. You got it. Check A is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Check B is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. And check C is a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. That's why viewers of this channel passed and graduated that class yesterday. It's LATE 202. It's so simple. Now, let me recap what we learned in class LATE 202 for viewers who are just new to finding this channel today. In that class, we learned what are the checks. Now that we know that check is in every U.S. state, next we were learning what are the checks. And viewers just repeated back to you. They know they're check A, B, and C. And we're going to go over what they are right now. Check A is a fourth stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. Check B is a fourth stimulus check that, oops, it's out of order. I think it's here. Yeah, there it is. Forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Check C is a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Great. So there you go. Now, let's go over to LATE 303. LATE 303 started yesterday, but I didn't let anyone graduate yet until I saw that they had done their homework assignment. Their homework assignment was to go out and apply for at least one of the 4 different checks that are in the 4 potential checks that are in their state. There's 3 there's definitely in their state, but they can choose the 4th if they wish to do as well. Homework assignment overnight was to apply for at least one of the 4th stimulus checks. I wanted you to do it last night for many reasons. 1, the funds are running out. I don't want you to wait around any longer. Number 2, I wanted to see your success story. Number 2, if you had questions, I want to see your responses as well. Number 3, I want you to report back to me to show me that you had done this, because this is not the advanced class yet. We're still in the sort of mid-range class. This is LA 303. So, if you're in the live chat, write right now which check you applied for, or at least started to apply for, overnight. I want to see only success stories. I don't want to hear any complaining. I don't want to hear any confusion. I don't want to hear you reached out to have someone else do it for you. Tough love moment. I want to hear that you did it. Otherwise, I'm not graduating you from the class. Did you go out and get check A? Write in the live chat right now. Did you go out and get check B? Write in the live chat right now. Did you go out and get check C? Write in the live chat. I don't need to know that you got it. I just need to know that you made the effort. And write it right now. When you do that, you inspire yourself. You also inspire other viewers, because they're going to start to watch when people are doing the same thing and realizing, wait a second, I should be doing this. Why is everyone else doing it, not me? That's why this channel is expanding so quickly. Now, if you're new to this channel, or perhaps you missed yesterday's video because, you thought it was Cinco de Mayo yesterday, today you sobered up and you're like, oh, should I go out again? No. Today you just stay with me. Today you stay with me and you'll watch videos all day long and inside and have bonbons, and banana bread. Now, let's go over what are the 4 stimulus checks and how you apply for them. This is especially for viewers who are new today on this channel. And if you did try yesterday and you think, maybe I didn't do it right, then here's your opportunity to listen again and try it again. All right, here we go. Check A. Is a forced stimulus check available in every U.S. state? How do you get it? If you're viewing in the live chat and you applied, just that you applied for forced stimulus check A last night or yesterday, post in the live chat, yes, Ellen, I applied for forced stimulus check A. Do it right now because you inspire other people. All right, how do you do it? And what is it? It's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. It is a $6,500, upwards of $12,000 forced stimulus check. The income eligibility is so simple. Same as a third stimulus check. Boy, that's easy. Yeah, it is. Single individual, $75,000 or less, you can get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you can get it. Then, if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Variable Benefits, you can get as well. What is this called? It's called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. How do you get this check? First, you become a member. Next, you open the membership newsletter. You go right into that membership newsletter and go down to check A in the newsletter. You open the membership newsletter, you go down to check A in the membership newsletter. Then you click the button and you go into the nationwide website. Then you open your respective state, like Mississippi, and you look for the Weatherizing Grant Check and you apply. Bam, whammo. Great job for everyone who applied overnight for that check A. All right, let's see the people in the live chat who applied overnight for that check B. Here it is. If you're in the live chat right now, if you applied overnight, and if you applied, maybe last week because you're just advanced, you're just in the advanced class, smarty pants. Lobster pants, smarty lobster pants. If you did this last week, or even if you got on the chat, because I've had viewers who've gotten these checks already, folks, then post in the live chat because it just inspires people. All right, how do you get check B? First let's go over it. It's $15,000 to $80,000. It's a forced stimulus check. Income qualification, same as third. Single individual, 75,000 or less. Married couple, 150,000 or less. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rural benefits, very simple. How do you get Check B? Again, same way as Check A. You open that membership newsletter. You go down in the membership newsletter to where you see Check B. There's going to be a link to go to a website. You click the link and you go into the website and you see a map. And that link in the website shows you the map. And there it is. You choose your respective state. Let's say New Mexico. Click the state of New Mexico. That's where you live. And you go into that state and then you apply. And you put your name and address in and you're done. How simple is that? That, my friends, is Check B. All right, let's see who applied for Check C overnight. If you're in the live chat, tell me right now if you applied for Check C. Check C does not involve applying online, as you learned yesterday. It involves using your telephone and applying over the telephone. How do you get Check C? Well, first, again, it's all delineated in the membership newsletter. Open the membership newsletter, go down past Check A, past Check B. There it is, Check C. And it'll tell you the places to call, about 15 of them. Your city, your county. Your city hall, your county hall. Your state hall, your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to say are all in the newsletter. Rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage assistance because of COVID. And then it tells you what to do thereafter. It's all in the Credible newsletter. That is your Check C. If you're in the live chat right now, tell me if you went and applied for Check C. Now, Check C is a $2,000 on average monthly stimulus check over about 12 months in recent weeks. Viewers have gotten this check since its earliest days. And to make it clear again, it is really third stimulus funds, but it's still being paid out now under fourth stimulus. Viewers have gotten $45,000 from this Check C. They've been getting it for over a year, upwards of $150,000. But in recent days, it's been $2,000 a month over 12 months. If you're in the live chat, tell me if you've gotten that Check C. Now, let's see and let's look at the results. Oh, good. You did really well. I'm so proud of you. If you're in the live chat, you can see the people who went out last night and did their homework assignment. They went out and applied for Check A. They went out and applied for Check B. They went out and applied for Check C. Now, let's go over what Check D is, and also let's go over some comments I sort of saw, and I'm going to address those and make sure they're not your circumstance. Let's go over those comments first, actually. One of the comments I saw someone said, where is the map in the newsletter? No. The map is not in the newsletter. The newsletter, you go right in there and you just follow along and you click a button. Next, someone said, I don't know if I can do this. I said, you don't know if you can do this? You just open a newsletter. You push a button. That says Check A. Oh, there's Check A. There's a link. Oh, I push it. Push. Then push another button when you get to the website. Then type your name in and your address and your phone number. And push enter. Done. Can't do that? I think you can. That's easier than buying micheladas to go on your favorite big box website for delivery today. If you can go online to order, your favorite Mitch McConnell pin and fan t-shirt, and you can go on there and put your name in, push enter, then you can do that. Check A, Check B, Check C. It's very, very simple. If you can pick up the phone and contact Nancy and say, Nancy, give us some checks and also, give us a new hairstyles, then you can pick up the phone and contact for your Check C. All right, what other comment did I see overnight? I think that was it. But overall, generally great job with everyone. Now, let's go to Check D. Check D is less of an application type check because it's a check that basically, if you're living in the state, you get the check. In some cases, you got to do something, but the something is not inherently right this moment sometimes. For check D, I did not really want you to go practice on check D overnight because check D may be a donut type moment, and I don't want you to fall into that. Check D sort of looks like, I'll just wait when my state's sending out a $600 check. No, 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 that's not your assignment. That's not your assignment to wait to see that there's a check and then just stand by the mailbox. Your assignment overnight was to actually go get check A, B, or C. But let's go over check D, which would not pass you for LA 303. Check D is a check that states are sending out in many of the states. Check A is available in every U.S. state. Check B is available in every U.S. state. Check C is available in every U.S. state. You know that. Check D, you also know, is not available in every U.S. state. It is available in about 24 of the U.S. states. Currently, it will grow to about 40 states. And it's not available in every U.S. state. So I don't want you to be laser focused or blindly focused only on check D, because check A is in your state, check B is in your state, and check C is in your state as well. Now, if you've done all that and you post in the live chat that you made the effort, I don't need to see that you got the check, that you made the effort to go get the check since yesterday, since May 4th, now by today, May 5th, you've passed LA 303. And again, if you just found this channel today, go do it tonight. And I'm going to check back in with you tomorrow on May 6th. If you just found this channel overnight, just found this channel in the last 5 minutes, I want you to go do that right today. I think you may have gotten caught up pretty quickly because I think I made this relatively basic for you today. What's going to come up, I thought I was going to do it in this video, but I guess I'm going to do it tomorrow's video, is I'm going to check in to see if you have gotten, if you're ready now to get your second check. I want you to do 2 applications. So I want you to do one if you haven't done it by this morning. I want you to do another one now and post in the live chat. And then tomorrow, get ready because I'm going to have you go get another application on file. You can do this. Remember, there are checks in every U.S. state. There's a 4th stimulus check in every U.S. state. Recap, check A is in every U.S. state. Check B is in every U.S. state. Check C is in every U.S. state. How do you learn about these checks? How do you apply to get these checks? Become a member. Go to that credible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. If you want to learn more about the newsletter, there's a video on the channel that explains more about the newsletter and its delivery. Remember, make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell on the front of this channel, make sure all notifications set to all and on. There you go. Great job. Now, let me turn to this Bank of England report. This is really what I'm telling you is going to be happening, and we're going to start to see this a lot of places. You know, you hear. I'm not surprised England is the first. I would expect France, Germany, and Italy right behind them, and then I expect maybe China or Japan or Singapore maybe by the summer. And what's the report? The Bank of England's reporting its economy is shrinking dramatically, very quickly. There you go. GDP, and that it's heading to recession. There you go. So it's all easy and basic to digest because I've been preparing this for you for several months. If you're new to this channel, let me tell you what's going on. I've been telling viewers of this channel that for several months that the U.S. economy will be in recession for 2 years starting in 2023. And that there are several industries that are currently in recession, in my opinion, which are housing and auto, and that more industries will go into recession by the end of the year, and that you'll see parts of the country go into recession before other parts. In the prior recession, the East Coast went in first, the West Coast went in last. The East Coast came out first, and the West Coast came out to last. So don't be surprised if we do something like that geographically again. How do we see recession? We see recession in the gross national product, the GDP, in which our economy will no longer have a positive GDP number. It'll go to a flat number and then to a negative number. GDP has gone from 7 to 6 to maybe about 4 right now, and maybe heading to 2 by the fall. In my opinion, it's going to go to about 0 by about January 2022, and then negative numbers. Now, here's what the Bank of England said today, which is quite interesting. The Bank of England says that it has, first of all, the British pound today had its largest drop since the pandemic started. Okay, bad news. Then the Bank of England warned of a sharp slowdown of its economy. It didn't particularly use the word recession, but it said that this is bad news. Policymakers warn that the GDP growth is expected to drop dramatically. Okay, that's the first part. So that's the recession. Remember, if you drop that GDP dramatically from 7% to 0 to negative, then that's the recessionary part. Is this just a recession that's coming on the horizon? Is that the headwinds that we're looking at? You're seeing today we may have stagflation, which is recession plus high inflation at the same time. That is really bad. We did not have that in the last recession. We just had low inflation, but runaway recessionary concerns. Now, the GDP growth is slowing dramatically in England, but they're also projecting that the inflation is going to go higher. What? Yeah, the inflation is going to go higher, and their economy is going to shrink faster. They're expecting their inflation to go to 10%. Folks, I actually was, I'm going to date myself here. Okay, yeah, no longer saying I'm 22 years old. I was in England during the last recession. I got to tell you, folks, it was awful. I was not living there. I was just on vacation. It was awful. I mean, you just never see anything like this in your life. It looks horrible. We're walking a very narrow path. The approximate reason for raising bank rates at this point is not only the current profile of inflation, it's what to come, of course, but it could mean for inflation expectations to come, it's going to be the risks as well, says BOE, Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey in a press conference minutes ago. And he says it's very sharp, slow down. Then comes Jesus Cabrera Colusalo, senior associate at Valadius Risk Management. We're witnessing a clear depreciation of sterling, that's the British sterling, during 2022 is pacing at the worst performance of any major currency. Oh my goodness. All right, so what is my takeaway on that? Get ready, because J Powell, in my projections, is going to be bringing you into recession. J Powell is going to get it wrong. And J Powell has gotten it wrong. J Powell thinks that raising interest rates is going to bring us lower inflation. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I think by September, you're going to see that these interest rate spikes are just giving you higher interest rates and not bringing down inflation. And what you're going to see is that inflation is going to stay still high, too high. You're going to see oil and wheat worse than it is right now. I featured that a lot last night. Even say LALATE. I'll feature more tonight. And then you're going to see the economy start to shrink. All right, let me turn to something very interesting, which is Build Back Better Act. We're going to talk about those additional checks. And I have a little bit of commentary here across the board. I want to pull out the quote because I want to make sure I say the quote correctly, or at least what happened today. The situation that happened was that Joe Manchin did something very peculiar yesterday. And if you've been with this channel for 2 years, I often say, I hope this is cursed. I don't care what Joe Manchin says. I don't care what he does, because he just bluffs all the time. He bluffs all the time. He says he's not going to do something, then he does it. So I've been right every single time he does it. But he did something really weird in the last 24 hours. Let me tell you what he did. He had a quote, and his quote was, the midterm elections will be determined by inflation, not abortion. Okay, well, that's sort of, just his opinion of politics. Let's just take it for that. But it's what happened at the same time he was saying that. The same time he was saying that, what happened was that Joe Manchin had the opportunity to talk about the latest leaked publication from the Supreme Court. Let me tell you what happened. Earlier this week, a draft of a decision by the Supreme Court was leaked in which it's about to overrule Roe versus Wade. Then, in essence, if this publication is accurate, and the Supreme Court has confirmed that document was true and correct, and the Supreme Court said that it's investigating the leak. But if that eventually becomes the decision, abortions will be illegal in the United States. Okay, what happened thereafter? The Democrats, as a team, as a whole group, House and Senate, appeared on the Capitol Hill and said, we're going to immediately pass a piece of legislation to undo anything that this may be coming on the headwinds from the Supreme Court. Okay, follow me so far? Yeah. So Joe Manchin, I believe, did attend that rally or that press junket on the Capitol Hills. Okay, so far so good. Now let me tell you what you don't know, if you don't know it already. Joe Manchin has proclaimed himself to be a Democrat and pro-life, meaning he that's sort of his opinion. When asked whether he would support this, when asked whether he'd support this piece of legislation, he avoided the subject matter. He avoided the subject matter. Now, this gets really interesting. If you can't come on board with what the Democrats are doing there, then what about coming on board for Build Back Better Act? It's really quite interesting. Joe Manchin, who is pro-life and also a Democrat, according to him, previously was the only member of the Democrats to vote against the Women's Health Protection Act. But when asked whether he would now support changing the filibuster or codifying abortion rights into law, he refused to comment. Okay, so I'm not going to turn this into sort of a political video, as you never know I never do. I got to just tell you that if there's ever a time for him to really, really get angry, the whole rest of his political party, any more than he did before, it's going to be here. And I hope it doesn't grow anymore. It hasn't yet. I got to tell you, if this abortion, Joe Manchin statements continue to grow and percolate more, it's going to really, really isolate him and the rest of the Democratic caucus. And let me tell you, if you forgot what he did when we were talking about Build Back Better Act, when we were talking about Build Back Better Act, he didn't have a problem so much about dental or vision. He didn't really have a problem so much about, stimulus checks. He didn't have a problem about home repairs. He had a problem about women and paid leave. And he had a big problem when it came to women's issues in the Build Back Better Act. Here we are again, and guess what? There's a lot of female senators who are Democrats who are not happy with him. There's a lot of female Democrat House members who are really not happy with him. And guess how they must feel today? Yeah, so that brings us back to why we have LA 101, LA 202, and LA 303. Tonight on 80s LA, I'm going to go over more about that important quote from Paul Tudor Jones, who basically says, if you got money, save it. If you have the opportunity to get money, get it. And don't spend it. That is why it's important to become a member right today. The horizon that we have in front of us is bad. We're going into recession. The economy is going to stall up. We have a lot of bad headwinds coming our directions. And there's no time or place to say, I'm going to wait for something else. No, you do not wait. You do not even wait a day. That's why these homework assignments are very important. I want you to go get that forced stimulus check application on file. Go get check A, go get check B, go get check C on file. First, go to the top of the chat, become a member, then get that newsletter, and get ready to pounce. And get ready to pounce or pounce before you have the michelada. I just don't want you to trip after you have the michelada. It's just not very tasty. It leaves you a bad aftertaste in your mouth, like a Josh Hawley speech. And with that, I look forward to seeing you tonight on 80s LA. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. America's most watched show for financial news. We'll have by then the complete reaction of Wall Street today to the Federal Reserve, and I'll have more of that data. Oh, get ready. It is going to be a bloodbath. And I'm not referring to the ingredient list in Mitch's drink. And with that, stay informed, stay focused. Make sure you go to the top of the channel, pin comment, become a member, and then get that incredible membership newsletter. Check back in with me tonight on 80s LA. I want to see which checks you applied for. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day, and stay with LA for more.